We'll say that much. Like,
Ziggy, if you're Robot Watson, I want to be Cosgrove from Freakazoid.
Oh Lord, no.
Oh God.
Hey,
No,
cut it out.
Izzy, you just have to play all 3 of the good feathers.
You just see a dust cloud that moves around.
no. Now someone just has to play Pinky and the Brain combo.
Yeah.
So what did everyone think of the Animaniacs trailer?
I think
I'm
it looked
excited.
good.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to do more of like a legit storyline.
I mean, I don't know if it's a legit story. I think they're just willing to get a little more meta than they were previously, which isn't a lot. They were meta.
yeah, I was like,
For the original show, plenty.
I mean, the only thing I'm a little hesitant about is the show did not invite back or try to get its original writing staff.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
Right.
Like, it got back, like a lot of people behind the scenes, and it got back the actors, but it didn't get back the writers.
Like Paul Rudd and everybody.
They didn't even ask, from what I read in an interview. And I'm a little worried because of that, but
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think if Spielberg's still running the show, because he was ultimately the guy that, okayed everything in the original show, so
yeah.
I'm optimistic, and again, the trailer looks funny. So,
Yeah, and I did like the teaser with the Jurassic Park parody.
I keep getting catfish.
I'm looking at the trailer now.
It's pretty great.
There's a trailer and a teaser, and I think they're both really good.
Yeah,
They are.
yeah. The teaser is just one big Jurassic Park reference where Steve Spielberg gets to stroke his ego a bit, but the trailer is pretty funny.
Hey, Izzy, are we recording?
We are.
Oh boy. Okay.
oh boy.
We have been ever since we talked about Robot Watson.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
that's great.
That's exactly when we need to start.
I'm already laughing at the trailer, so this is a good sign.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The original voice actors help so much.
It's true. I mean, they help. It's not like they've stopped doing them in 20 years.
I mean, I feel like the project probably wouldn't have gotten off the ground if they couldn't get the original voice back.
Yeah, I mean they got all the really important ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how many of them they could have salvaged anyways, not just voice.
Who is this for now, though?
Who's
I
what?
think it's for us.
It is absolutely
It is, because it's not. It looks like it's not for kids anymore.
I'm pretty sure it's for us.
Yeah.
It's
pure nostalgia.
Hey, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. The original show, had plenty of risque jokes as well. Like,
But I still think it's for kids.
Yeah, this is clearly for the
for people that grew up watching the show. Yeah.
yeah, it's the 20-year nostalgia cycle.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a question of degree in my mind.
And they know.
It'll be fine.
We know exactly what we're about.
Yeah.
Chuck E.
Let's
Cheese.
see. That era of animation. X-Men is on the table. Spider-Man's on the table. Doug is on the table. Somebody could play Skeeter.
Does
No.
anybody does anybody want to play Mark Hamill's Joker?
Someone could play Dexter from Dexter's Lab.
That'd be fun.
Oh, you're right.
It's true.
That would be fun.
The concept.
I've already committed to run a different game next month, guys. I can't. Damn it.
The context behind this for people listening is a 90s TV show GURPS game.
I think I know what my next game is going to be once one of the things I'm running is done.
Is it this?
No.
Okay, so best idea with this, all the wackiest characters, and then one person plays Daria.
Fair enough.
None of us can hit that level of snark, though.
No, we can't. It's not even Stark, just straight emotionless deadpan.
I mean, I would just pull the Game Grumps character I was using during Wedding Week.
Oh, no.
Droopy giving game walkthroughs and also talking about how bleak life is.
So I can snark. I can't do that level of deadpan though.
Yeah, that's some hardcore deadpan right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I tried that level of deadpan, Ziggy would die because he wouldn't believe me.
Samurai Jack.
Yeah, he'd assume you're an imposter.
Bravo.
Yeah.
SWAT.
Oh man, that would be tempting.
Recess.
Yeah,
to role play Johnny Bravo.
I do have a game I want to run eventually, but I'm going to wait until more shit has ended because there's a lot of games running right now or people that want to run games.
Speaking of which, we should probably start this game.
Yeah.
We probably should.
For Nick's sake, at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Wash can go catch the end of the disaster that will be happening in progress.
My other thing is like things that the orange one has said off the cuff have directly affected my job in negative ways multiple times. It's kind of a job thing at this point too.
He is the dark one. Do not speak his name.
Yeah.
The disaster will be yours.
Actually, I'm side note before we get started. Really excited to see the 60 Minutes interview.
Me too.
I got to read some stuff from it. Oh wow, it sounds jeez.
Anyway, we get started.
Keep giving rope to hang himself with. Okay. So if I recall where we left off, you guys were in your new. By the way, so Wash for you. The zoo has been abandoned for a little while.
Yeah.
We're still using it. It's just when we need to actually talk about secret stuff, we're going someplace where like people don't have our mailing address.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I did put a lot of points into making that base secret, but sure.
Unfortunately, the people who we want to keep stuff secret from know where it is.
Also, we can shift those points to our new base with blackjack and hookers, so it's fine.
Yeah.
How much do those cost?
Allowed.
Less than half a point per dozen hookers.
That's a really good exchange rate.
No, that's not how this works. All the effects are multiplicative in this game.
Yeah.
So you start with one hooker at 1 point, 2 hookers with 2 points, then 5, then 10, and then like 25, and you keep going up the scale.
I'm pretty sure everything always is a power of 2 scale.
I just want more cards for blackjack.
Guys, just wait 9 years and Serenity will summon all the hookers you want.
Oh my god.
Well, that went
So
through.
that's our retirement plan.
Okay, so you guys are in your secret mountain base, which is somewhere, and you have received Iris. You have gotten your phone call back from Penumbra.
Can you remind me what the thing that she said was at the beginning of that?
I believe it was we need to talk.
That sounds right.
Like,
Yep. So we're going to Europe, folks.
I certainly would hope so. That's why I sent the letter.
Okay, you're in the phone conversation. She's like, yes, I did receive that. And after talking to some people, it does sound important, but not over the phone. You want to come to Europe?
Absolutely.
Do I?
Actually, I maybe takes a moment.
That's part of Germany, right?
All of you take off. Can we meet for a weekend? Otherwise, I think some of the other team members may have to take off of school.
All right. Yeah, we'll just to convenience timing. We're on a weekend.
Okay. Well, I mean, I could probably get us. I don't know Europe that well, but to most places in Europe within an hour.
Oh, then you really are as powerful as you said you were.
Yeah.
Again, we'll talk more when you get here. And she gives you a address and location.
Sounds good. Everybody, I'm assuming the address is like either a particular base or like a hotel or something. Just a question. Just a question. Should we come in costume to meet you or no? I am not quite certain of this.
Based on your current reputation, from what I've seen, probably better if you're a little incognito.
38 tech to fuck over any satellites that might be trying to track us.
Done.
Just in case.
Yep, you managed to scramble a signal effectively.
All right. We should be pretty much untraceable unless people are physically able to follow us to Europe.
Great. We'll see you then. Should I call you when you arrive, or will
I'll find you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, well, funny enough, the address is... So the instructions she gives are actually to meet in the park at around 8 o'clock at night.
I'm assuming 8 their time.
Yes.
And that is a reason.
I'm going to hand everybody fake tape-on mustaches.
I thank you, Serenity, and Iris is going to pocket it.
Yeah, guys still do the same, I guess.
I slowly hover it over my face, trying to figure out where exactly it would attach, and then I just start eating it.
So, everyone not doing well. That was Penumbra. We need to be in Europe in give or take an hour. I can get us there in that time.
Well, you have a couple hours because you do need to wait the few hours for nightfall there.
Yep, a couple hours, and it was requested that we at least come incognito. So that
Makes no difference to me. Yeah.
Sure. What is cognito?
Actually,
In disguise.
It's part of Brussels, I think.
face palm interpret.
Don't be not all died yet.
Listen, I don't think I got enough appreciation when I said Europe. That's part of Germany, right?
I thought it was great.
I missed that. Sorry.
It's all good.
I was just don't go in a superhero outfit.
Gotcha.
You guys are wearing outfits?
Well, you should probably bring your trench coat that somehow completely hides the fact that you're a kangaroo.
1 point investment.
It's great. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh, that might be something fun to expand, but later.
Oh,
No, you want to expand that.
I have ideas.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
Oh, yes.
ooh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to take a good number of ports, several of which will be falling in the air over the Atlantic Ocean. But Iris can get us to Europe.
Fun.
That works. I mean, as long as we're high enough up that we're not in visual identification and visual range, should be fine.
Whee!
Oh wait, no. Only 2 of us would be able to actually do this going underneath the ground.
Yeah, let's probably not go underground.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a great idea.
This straight line.
Well, after we go deep enough to be underneath the ocean, at least.
I'm pretty sure if we draw a straight line between Seattle and... Which country are we going to, Wex?
Germany, actually.
I think a straight line through the Earth between Seattle and Germany would definitely wind up deep enough to be under the ocean.
Yeah, you kind of got to play the curve.
I was gonna say, I technically don't have to. It's a good idea to.
I ever told you your power is really weird?
I mean, you've told me it's terrifying.
Well, that, and also it's weird.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're in the air just hovering for God knows how long?
No, you're falling a lot. You're continuously skydiving until you get velocity dumped somewhere.
We're just low-key at the beginning of Avengers 3.
I'm just going to be in Dungaroo's pouch this entire time, poking my head out every once in a while.
All right, so after many horrifying jumps, you arrive in Germany. We'll say you're in Berlin. Berlin's big.
Yeah, Berlin is very big.
Just had
I
the
see and immediately obtain pretzels.
I just had the horrible realization that Dungaroo has the most normal powers in our party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also wasn't terrified at all because I have life support.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's
also hard to be terrified when you're basically indestructible and can survive any fall.
Yeah.
So Dungaroo and I are gonna go back and get some pretzels.
I mean, pretzel sounds good.
Yeah. Another reason, by the way, you would realize people with just general investigation skills, I'm not going to make you roll, realize it's good to be incognito is because superhero rules are different for different countries. And especially going to a different country as superheroes without any authorization is probably not a good idea in general.
Wax 18 on. Oh wait, shit! I was rolling a D10, not a D20. That's why everything's wrong. 15 on. What are the superhero laws like that I know about here?
Well, let's see. If they're kind of mirrored, they're probably a lot like harsher in general. Like superheroes are probably much more like regulated police, like in general.
They would also be very specific and narrow in terms of things, but there would be more of the rules.
Yeah,
just for Germany in general.
Yep, much more run by the state. Also, I'd imagine.
Definitely, yeah. They don't really allow the corporate bullshit that happens in America.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That doesn't sound realistic at all.
Oh no, this is very fantasy.
Yep. So, yeah, we wind up at a park, and like.
But most likely, different government agencies have different groups of heroes to do like specified tasks.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have like any privatized groups, they are like highly regulated and have to pay like enormous fees, and even then are under like very strict like what they can and can't do.
Mm-hmm.
So much more similar to kind of how Worm handles it.
Yeah, though I think it would be less flashy than Worm. Like, I don't think superheroes would be quite the celebrities they are in, like, even Worm or the U.S.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are they treated more like civil servants?
I would definitely say so, yeah. I mean, they do have, like, costume-wise, they do have a little flash to them. I think superheroes inherently have to, but it's still more utilitarian than an American's, like...
I mean, the government comes up with mascots and branding for most of its programs regardless.
Yeah.
I'd say much more utilitarian Germany.
Yep.
I just mean, like, the outfits are while flashy, you're going to have a bit more practicality to them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, that was the joke.
And uniformity probably is the other thing I would say they have.
Yeah.
Oh my, Izzy, why?
What did Izzy do?
Why are you doing this?
We were going back and forth on it. It'll be a good time.
Back and forth on it.
All right. So a minute later, and Izzy, this is you as your young girl self, right?
Yeah, completely.
You have my like civilian identity outfit that is not super fancy.
No, you know what? You guys get to. This is your shtick. You get to describe it to your teammates.
So, Dungaroo and Serenity say we need to go get a pretzel, and we meander off. And like 5 minutes later, you don't see Dungaroo and Serenity heading back. Wash, you want to take it from here, or do you want me to keep going?
I'm not.
I don't remember what the things look like. You just I was asking you questions about them, and you just kind of said it didn't matter.
Oh, wait, you wanted me to actually?
No, because I don't remember what they do.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, I didn't ask.
Yeah,
I just Anyway.
I'll just say it easy. Iris would immediately notice, hey, it's not Halloween, but why are miniature versions of my parents wandering around?
Oh.
Grabbing Serenity, we are here, low key, don't summon things.
I didn't summon... No, Dungaroo and Serenity are dressed like Radiance and Ruin in their costumes.
I told you to not actually wear superhero costumes.
They're not heroes.
Well, these are stillbought.
They technically are.
Are they incredibly obviously fake store-bought costumes?
I want those styrofoam fake muscles.
Yeah.
You would have had to create these, though, Izzy. You would not have found costumes of these two.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm gonna go eat my pretzels somewhere else.
Izzy, these costumes are permanently living in the pouch after this.
I love it. I love everything about it.
Use it next time you fight them.
They are wearing Ruin and Radiant costumes.
in other news, Rue
And like
Brady
they
was-
barely fit. Like the kangaroo ear just keeps pushing out.
I'm going to go somewhere else and eat a pretzel there.
You are able to buy a pretzel for a fair price.
Yeah, I'm keeping track of those two, but
I love you, Sparky, but get off my mouse.
aww.
All right. So, do you guys want to do anything else before the time?
I mean, if we have time, vague amounts of like actually going around and looking at pretty buildings, but that's it.
fair.
Okay. So you guys are waiting around. It's like kind of a park square. It's getting late. It actually, again, for the Dan, you'd know this because you've probably been scanning like laws and stuff. Curfew will be soon. They do have a curfew. But before you make perception checks, please.
Everybody or just
Everyone.
okay.
19.
25.
16.
12.
All right. This one's not too bad. I'm looking for 15s or higher.
20, sure.
Everyone with 15 or higher, you notice that the area around you is getting significantly darker very quickly.
I got another nat one.
Considering the name of the person we're going to meet, I'm not that concerned about this, but paying attention.
Within a few moments, everything is black. And Nick, you suddenly feel cut off from the rest of your senses.
Oh, is this at Black Fort? Sorry.
You can only feel the people around you.
Okay.
You feel and then a figure emerges from the dark, who you do not feel actually.
Huh.
A female-ish looking figure emerges. While she is humanoid, her features and limbs are a little too different to be defined as human. Limbs a little too long, shoulders a little too broad, head a little too wide, a lot of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Her face has a very alien-looking appearance to it as she comes out of the darkness and the black kind of shadows kind of peel away from her face, revealing Penumbra. She smiles at you. Good, I see you got my message. Well, sorry for this. One of the few ways that we can be safe talking. Dan, you're totally cut off, by the way, as well.
Okay. Even tech stuff in the area?
Your tech, and that's about it. And even then, things feel fuzzy.
That's concerning.
I mean, do you want to make a knowledge roll about her powers?
Sure.
Because I'll be honest, I'm taking a little worm inspiration for this one.
16.
So she is a darkness manipulator, which is a little broad, but she's had feats of things such as dimension traveling, teleporting, and even like stealth on levels that would not be expected.
Interesting.
Even being able to mask her presence in ways that, or mask signals and such that you wouldn't expect to be able to be masked.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Now, I assure you that this conversation is safe, which is why I've brought you here. Can't stay here too long. It's not good to be in this place long. At least not if you're not used to it. But we can talk, and for the most part, we will not be overheard, though there are a few exceptions I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
You asked to meet. I've heard a lot about you from Jordan already. What do you want to know? I think you deserve some answers, and I'm willing to give what I can.
The single biggest question right now, from everything that at least we collectively understand about what's going on, is that we need to find paradigm.
Find what?
And find paradigm. and we thought that one of her former associates might be one of the best places to look.
You're not wrong, but it's harder than it sounds.
Space is a big place.
Truthfully, I don't know exactly where she is at all. Last I saw Paradigm, she effectively, not public knowledge, but she effectively sacrificed herself so that many people could live. More than you would know.
Mm-hmm. We were under the impression that she was still alive and somewhere in space, but beyond that, we don't really have that much information.
Again, she might be. It's very hard to kill Paradigm, I'll tell you that. I've watched that woman. Can't do that with an accent. Bench press a moon once.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
I don't even think she was trying that hard to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone could be alive in space, it would be her. Somewhere.
It's not that hard to be alive in space.
No.
Fine.
No, you're not wrong, but prolonged time in space is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you from traveling it myself.
Fair.
And it's not just about that, it's the psychology on you as well, the toll on your will. No one has more will than she does.
The sheer crushing loneliness of being trapped in an endless void.
I look over at Iris. You put me there, and that normally kills people.
I mean, you can take a lot of things, and I knew you could.
Yeah, I've heard about you.
Also, that wasn't space. That was like the ionosphere. You were going to fall back to Earth in 5 minutes.
You must be Grey Zone, right? The kangaroo, yes?
No, actually. You are misinformed, and I rip off the next costume.
Oh, no.
Underneath the ruin costume is a costume that looks kind of like a kangaroo version of Serenity. I will also tear off the Radiance costume, and I will look like a kangaroo.
You both get a hero point, by the way.
What?
She laughed. You do have a spirit, that type of spirit. You know, I was actually the kid's sidekick back on the Legion when I was there. Reminds me of that. Those were good days. Listen, I don't know where she is. At all.
Mm-hmm.
When I last saw her, like I said, she disappeared. And I didn't think I'd ever see her again, and I probably won't. Maybe one day. What happened to her broke us. We couldn't stay together after that.
I understand that none of you can talk about it without inviting retribution or problems.
For reasons nobody will explain to us.
Clark is a little more cautious about it than most. Frankly, Megalodon doesn't give a shit. That's why he's under the ocean. And, well, Apollo dared to buck the system, and that's what ended up happening to... that's what happened to the Avant-Garde. That was his hubris. He knew better. Not that the rest of
this system.
What?
So this system.
Not a system, a game. I can tell you that at least. It's a game.
I mean, yes, it seems like a game, but how are we supposed to be pieces in it if we don't know any of the rules?
Because you're not the players. You're the pawns. Like we're all the pawns.
Then who are the players?
And that's the part I can't tell you. Unfortunately. Clark's cautious, but he's right about that. It was part of the condition that we agreed to. As long as they keep playing the game, everyone gets to live a fairly normal life. The Earth doesn't become dragged into it directly.
So how are we supposed to change anything or help anyone?
You have to get up to their level. And that involves finding Paradigm.
I don't know. I can jump pretty high.
I don't think you can jump out of the physical reality you live in.
I haven't tried this week.
I'll say that these players operate at a much higher level than you can comprehend. And they've been playing this game for a very long time. And you've probably been...
And who is their mastermind, their game master?
I think it's just them, but I can't say any more about that. They can actually see us here.
You sure it's not someone named Wex?
No, listen, look at my name. Look at my name. I am above that. I'm Jack Kirby here.
Not descend to that level.
He's above you.
No, for real. It's a side note of comic stuff. In Marvel Comics, like what the actual god of Marvel, and it is Jack Kirby drawing.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically, it's the Living Tribunal, I guess, but yeah.
No, it's above Living Tribunal.
Is he? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he is the highest it goes.
Yeah. Well, I want Prodigy to come back.
Someday we'll all send a level of stressed out 30-somethings in their computers.
Listen, so I can't tell you more about it. The only way you're going to be able to engage with it is to find Paradigm. She's the key. If you find her, you might be able to get a scope of it. And frankly, they might let you, too. You're part of this game of theirs. My guess is that if you found us, and from what I've read, you've already been pulled into it as their new prime pieces.
But you've definitely been pulled into something.
Our production level is very high.
I mean, I've never...
At the very least, and I told Tim this months and months ago. I thought it was just voices back then.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've never played a game that I couldn't come in second place in.
I don't like being used.
Trust me, this is a game that you cannot afford to lose. Listen, I can't help you directly. I can't play anymore. None of us can. We can't be involved the way we were back then. But I might be able to direct you to someone who can help you.
Who's that? Because at this point, I would take any help we can get for figuring out what's going on and how to.
Also, let's be clear here. Why is it then that we have to deal with all this other bullshit of being pinned on us in this way?
You think that's just random?
No, I don't think it's random. I want to know who's doing that. And I don't want and don't say it's the goddamn players of this game, because that doesn't explain everything that's going on.
She shrugs. I don't have that much foresight. Not in my power set. I'm more impatient than a lot, but I've learned some things in time, and as I said, this is a problem you'll have to solve. But I can at least point you in the right direction. If you want to find Paradigm, there's only one person I can think that can accurately locate her. You're going to need to find Otaman.
Who?
The Master of Time.
Guy.
Oh, him, right.
Otaman, the Master of Time.
Any idea where or when he might next manifest?
Finding him like that's too tricky. You want to go to the source. I've been there once. The city of Shidej. The city that never was and always will be.
Okay.
It's the only place you can definitively find him.
And how do
How
we
exactly do we get there?
That is trickier. There is an artifact that can bring you there. What is it? It is known as the Scales of Horus. An ancient artifact that Ozymandias used to use to link our world to his city. Once everything happened, he distanced himself. He decided to go full-on Guardian of Time and has had himself holed up in his city since then. His appearances are based on whenever he decides to act, and that very much is whenever.
So where do we find the scales?
Funny enough, back in your hometown. They've recently been transferred there to the as part of the Clark Museum exhibit.
And Clark did not tell us this because
Honestly,
He
he
could
might
or
be
he
able to, but he has pressures on him himself. He sold out more than I'd like to admit in a lot of ways. He thought he could do good from his end in the corporate world, but it binds him in ways that the rest of us are not held by.
No, what a shock.
Mm-hmm.
He shrugs. He thought he could do some good. He is a good man despite all that, and I'm not going to fault him for trying to do what he thought was right. And really, that's all you can always hope to do. You try to do what's right, you try to do the right thing, and you hope it works out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I came to Europe. It was simpler here. And I needed to get away from it.
Understandable. These scales are there under their own name, I'm assuming?
It is. Most do not know their power. But they will be considered a valuable artifact under heavy surveillance and heavy protection.
And I'm assuming then that means that we can't just ask Clark to lend it to us, and thus we won't have to do anything illegal to get it.
If he could have done that, he probably would have done it already.
I don't think he will lend it to you. He
Yeah,
had
that's-
some harder stipulations put on him than the rest of us. He can interfere the least of any of us.
Yeah, well, can he at least make it so that way we are not branded criminals for stealing it?
I don't think he can help you at all, honestly.
Well, there's an easier way to not get branded criminals. Don't get caught.
Yeah, we're going to a place outside of time and space. We don't know when we're coming back.
Or when.
Or yeah.
Yeah, but that's the easy part. It's getting if once we're
No,
outside.
no, but it means if we come back. No, it means if that we come back and time has elapsed and it's gone missing. I'm fairly certain that whoever is stacking the chips against us is going to make it so it's very clear that we're the criminals.
Oh, undoubtedly.
Almost certainly.
Well,
Like,
but if we're
there's a reason why, like, it's not just this, the reason why the question of what are we willing to do came up.
And again, you have to be careful how much you interfere in this. Like Apollo paid for that hubris with the incident, the thing that broke up the avant-garde, got people killed, and
Yes, but are we bound by such an agreement? Because we never were part of one. Or do these players just assume that because we're pieces, even if we don't know anything, we are bound by these rules?
no, I think that.
I mean, how is that different from being a normal person from what I've seen?
I think the rules would not apply like that. My guess is that they're still figuring you out, still deciding how you will be played.
to see if we're so maybe if we're not worthwhile pieces, they'll just leave us alone.
It's not
I
like
suspect
that.
even what we
Everything's
know,
screwed.
we would instead be destroyed.
Yeah, for all we know, the best thing we can do to protect ourselves is to keep being interesting.
More likely, you misunderstand. It's less that you aren't. That you're definitely interesting to them. It's more who gets what piece.
Boy.
So wait, we're not on equal playing fields?
We don't even know what the thing is. We don't even know what the playing field is.
Also, does this mean then that eventually we're going to be scouted for specific teams, essentially?
At this point, we don't even know how many players there are.
I've probably said too much already.
And we're also inferring from earlier information.
Still, if I pay for it, I pay for it. You deserve to know, and I doubt any of the others will tell you.
Thank you.
You've been the most forthright thus far, so you're probably right about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I learned from being on the Legion that children are often underestimated, and often the strongest players in the game. Young people have a lot more power than the older generation gives them credit for. And
Children are raw potential.
she also smiles. They're also a lot more unpredictable.
We can only hope.
Anyways. We should go now, though. We've talked here long enough, and hopefully you've learned what you need. Do you have any questions before I go?
I don't suppose you can help us with stealing the priceless artifact from a museum.
Like I said, I can't get directly involved. I'm not one of the game pieces anymore.
Well, had to ask.
Recommend any good bratwurst places while we're here?
Oh, there's a great one down on Main Street.
Thank you kindly.
Listen, don't let him beat you. All right, you can be stronger than that, but be careful. Don't make the mistakes we made. I know you don't know what those are yet, but if it comes to it, don't play their game.
Well, hopefully we can find out what the game is soon enough to not play.
No.
Like I said,
Not anyone's game yet. Why start now?
talk to Asman. All right. Good luck. And she fades back into the darkness, and slowly, the darkness fades, and you find yourselves all at a bus stop.
I was hoping it was going to be bratwurst.
Me too.
I'm disappointed.
I'm more a schnitzel guy myself.
Do Iris and I have our full senses back?
Yep, 100%.
Oh,
How
sorry.
far did we move?
Why can't,
Not very. Maybe like a couple blocks.
why can't I see Averonkis's name?
She dropped you. She basically dropped you off at a bus stop to take you to like somewhere public. There's a curfew after all.
I mean,
Of course.
we might as well just teleport home at this point.
Yeah.
But fresh schnitzel.
The
All right.
place, the curfew's all going to be any minute. They've already probably closed all the restaurants.
Are the restaurants closed, Wax?
There's like one stand closing up right now that's still open.
Go.
I feel like we can probably get a thing from that and then go home.
Yeah.
Is everyone who's getting food?
Yeah, I'll get some schnitzel.
Okay. Everyone, please make a perception check.
Oh boy.
Anyone getting schnitzel? Anyone not getting schnitzel?
Boom!
-5.
Enhance smell help at all?
It does not.
Okay.
I'd like to remind that I am invisible to cameras.
That's fine. It's not a camera in this case.
That's a no.
37. I am also technically disguised, but
Wax, my base form is invisible to everything unless I say otherwise.
Okay. For those with 30s or higher, or that natural 20,
Dang it.
Damn.
there is someone watching you from several blocks over.
I always feel like...
Nick, you almost missed him. He's very indistinct.
Oh, goddamn NPC.
No, it's the fucking Clock King.
No, it's the fucking dude who's our new handler.
yeah.
Oh,
Handler Wax.
that douchebag.
You think it is? It's hard to tell. You don't remember him very well.
Oh, boy.
Nick, you feel him smile a little, and he turns to go, and as hard as you try to track him, he just kind of gets lost in a mass of people heading into the bus, and you just lose track of him.
Sounds.
I don't like that guy.
Such a dick.
I'm pretty sure that guy's mother doesn't like that guy.
I would bet that guy is one of the players.
I mean, if he's not, he's probably working with them.
Probably.
I'm definitely telling my team about this as soon as we are. We're like, let's go above the Atlantic Ocean. It winds up somewhere randomly underground. So, by the way, this happened.
Yeah, I saw him too.
While you guys talk, I'm going to get a drink of water. I'm thirsty.
Basically, we just gotta pray he doesn't talk.
How did he get here?
That's a real good question.
Also, he couldn't have possibly overheard what we were saying, could he?
Who knows? He somehow knew where he would be, or got here, or something.
Yeah.
Also, it's kind of hard to remember what he even looks like, so who the hell knows how strong he is?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for all we know, this guy is like a paradigm level, like, unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Just has all of the stealth powers. That's the problem with all the superhero shit. There's no way to tell.
Yeah.
Did it smell the same? Not that I would be able to tell, but
All right, so I guess we've got to plan a heist for both games now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, you succeeded at the heist in the other game.
Yes, we did succeed at the heist in the other game. I mean, the getaway was not perfect, but everything else went swimmingly.
Uh-huh.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Literally the word
So we
swimming.
we're have to plan our second heist in as many weeks for about half of us.
I had 2 emotional breakdowns in 2 different games within a week of each other. Get off my back.
I could just reach in and get it. Does that work?
No, because all of the security stuff will see you, and
What,
probably
they got a metal detector?
I would imagine they have several.
I mean,
if anything, if anybody has the best chance of walking in and out, it's me. But even
Sure.
that,
But the thing is,
yeah, they're going to have more than one level of security.
especially if they predict that we're going to try to take it, like we don't know how much of this that the mainstream heroes are in on. Like, for all we know, they have a perfect counter to your power just around the thing. We're going to have to do a lot of research to figure out what actually is going on.
Yeah, research. I'm pretty good at that. So.
Like, I can probably disable a lot of the security stuff. You can too, but it's a matter of how much of it is there. Is anyone guarding any of the hard access points, which probably are.
if only it was like a stealth game, I'd be able to do it.
Well, if you think of it like a stealth game, we'll probably be a lot better off.
I'm picturing Serenity dressed up as Sam Fisher now.
I was thinking of Serenity donning the Assassin's Creed hood.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Serenity with a cardboard box over her head, just crawling.
Okay, that's good.
That's actually
Metal Gear.
I was, and while you're sneaking through, I'm just punching all the cameras that happen to be looking your way from across the.
Yeah.
You're already part of one of the new villain groups. You're Metal Kangaroo.
Mm.
The other thing is, if we lean too heavily on our specific set of powers, it's almost like a signature for who actually did the deed. The only unknown we have is Serenity.
Well, what power? Whose power do you think would make the most sense that we could put it on somebody else?
I mean, that's the problem, is we don't know how this thing is guarded or how protected from our particular set of powers everything is. I mean,
I can also be pretty generic with my more brute-like capabilities.
I mean, like if things were easy, I could probably just put together a nano invisibility cloak for Iris. Iris pops in, grabs it, and teleports out. But I doubt it's going to be that simple.
Probably not. No.
Still, invisibility cloaks are probably not the worst idea. Well, we used to have some time to plan.
I mean, I know a guy who has an invisibility cloak.
Oh god, you probably do.
You're not summoning Harry Potter.
He helped us out last time.
Did he
Did he
though?
really?
I don't think he did.
He was there.
Yeah, and being very not helpful.
Do you even remember when that was, Ziggy?
I do, yeah. He wasn't that helpful then.
It's not his fault he went comatose.
It's always my fault when I do in games.
Uh-huh.
Double standard there, Izzy.
I wasn't playing Harry Potter, though, Dad. I was playing Game Night at the time.
Oh, it sounds like at the very least we can get some of the initial research out of the way.
Yeah. I mean, I can probably case the joint well enough.
Do you want a hand?
But I think it's probably safe to assume that there are several people who already know what's going to happen and are waiting for us to do that, or send more problems at us as soon as we get home.
I mean, aren't we up against a guy that's supposedly called Prophet, who claims that he sees the future?
Also, what problems are they going to send that the goody-goodies won't be obligated to try and deal with?
What if the goody-goodies are the problem?
Mm-hmm.
If they're
Then we deal with them same as we deal with everyone else.
I mean, they are lined up to be opposite pieces on the board from us.
Yeah, I really wish I could pretend that wasn't intentional.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, that's assuming everybody has the same pieces. It might be like
Also, it's assuming that they know us as well as they think they do, which they probably don't.
True.
But we still haven't submitted any kind of
We should assume they have a reasonable idea about what each of us is capable of.
Reasonable, but not total.
No, I mean, I'm sure, I mean, that they definitely, it would be very difficult for them to connect the dots on Minerva, which helps.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the upper limits of Iris's powers haven't been fully explored, at least in a way people could quantify.
It depends on whether or not Stardust gave them information.
I mean, the only time you went full out was in the Nightmare world.
I'm still confused as to how they had so much information about that if you couldn't record anything.
I mean, to be fair, they don't really know much about it other than the fact that you were there.
Well, publicly, they don't know that much about it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, post-cognition is a power that exists in a lot of circumstances.
Yeah, and it might not be blocked in the same way that tech was at the time. Again, I cite my earlier comment. That's the problem with superpowers: is you never really have a clear idea of how strong someone is just by looking.
Yeah.
Even if you think you're strong, it's hard to measure up to someone else.
And also the fact is that no matter how strong you are, someone could just be your exact counter, even if they're not particularly powerful.
Very true. The most complicated game of rock, paper, scissors ever.
I don't
I mean,
I don't like rock, paper,
Got a
scissors.
shoe. What does that beat?
To be fair, it's also why, like, out of game, it's also why most heroes have a very punchy move set.
Yeah.
Rock.
No, you'll notice for the most part that, like, esoteric powers are much, like, rarer in mainstream heroes.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, you save them for the villains from the Silver Age.
You usually do. Well, not even villains. You save them as, like, villains and plot devices.
Snow Flame.
Or you save them for the
Snowflame.
I love
That was
Snowflame.
esoteric. That was the 80s.
Snowflame!
Ugh.
Does everyone out here know who Snowflame is? I just want to check.
I'm
Yes.
pretty sure everyone here does.
So
I brought him up.
Unfortunately,
I saw a game about this guy named Snowflame. So all we need to do is before we go on this heist, we get 10,000 grams of.
No. No.
Snowflame does not exist in my universe.
Okay, fine.
What about Flame Snow?
Is that his good
Still
brother?
no.
Pool dead? Actually,
That's just the Dead Sea.
Gwen Spider.
I want there to be a hero now named Zone Grey, just to meet with Grey Zone at some point now. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Sorry for diverting.
Heroes with gray in their names scare me. Or villains. Gray is a bad name. All right. Anyways. Okay. So I'm I'm letting you guys, like I said, take point on this.
Yeah, I think at this point, we should probably have Ziggy go ahead and case the joint. I'll try to hack records to get a sense of this, another sense of the security system, as well as like guard rotations, what kind of heroes are going to be there, that sort of stuff. Maybe we send. I don't really want to send anybody into the exhibit. That's risky.
I could put my ruin costume back on and rob something next door to assess response time.
The sad thing is, he would probably approve of that.
Ruin was seen running out of this museum next to this other museum with this painting that no one wanted.
In character,
Yelling things that apparently are super obscene unless you're from Australia.
In character, I can't approve of that.
Yeah, in character, I can't approve of that either. Out of character, though.
Out of character, that sounds fucking hilarious.
Yes. I am also in that boat.
I mean, Garth and I could go and look around the exhibit. The cameras won't pick up on us.
They already won't pick up on me.
All right, 30 on technology to get a sense of the security systems and trying to suss out the hero, the protection detail.
Sure. So, I mean, the museum itself has pretty standard, like, defenses that you would think. You know, the systems are, they can magna lock if they need to. They have security scanners at the entrance. You know, that do like metal detector. Most of like the stuff for actually entering the museum is not that bad because it is, you know, a museum.
The kind of thing that'd be trivial for Geist and I to take out.
100%, yes.
Okay.
For the room that this is in is a lot more complicated. There is the room itself has like some pretty high defensive features, which you do find were thanks to a donation from the Jordan Clark Foundation.
Oh, of course.
Because it's part of, again, a very rare collection of artifacts. The room itself can be locked down completely with like just high-powered like ceiling doors. Magna locks on them, and that can seal also roof access if necessary as well. And it alerts both a museum alarm and a silent alarm to both the authorities and the heroes. It unfortunately can't be dealt with from here because it is running on its own internal local system.
Okay, I assumed as much.
Let's see, other things tech-wise in place. I mean, a lot of standard stuff. There's a laser grid that detects things. The exhibits themselves can, like, during the night have, like, laser grid protection around them. And I do mean, like, lasers as in cuts off your hand lasers.
So, the Resident Evil movie hallway. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, they don't move. They're just, think like a laser pillar around the artifact.
Okay.
Probably a thing that, for example, wouldn't stop Geist at all.
Mm-hmm.
What else are the tech things? The room also has a couple of triggers. It looks like that there can be triggered a non-lethal like knockout gas.
Okay.
That I might have some issue with. Maybe. Well, maybe not.
It depends. I mean, you can partially phase, right?
Well, actually, I think he's okay because you're immune to.
That's right. I'm immune to suffocation. Yeah.
It's kind of a weird situation because I know phase characters are very susceptible to gas attacks, but
I mean, intangible still includes gases, so
it's. I'll make a call on it. I think even you wouldn't be sure 100% unless you've dealt with it before.
I mean, depending on how your stuff works, I mean, at least for Iris, I can definitely make I can easily cook up a high-end gas mask.
Yeah,
I can at least handle some of that myself.
Iris, what's stopping you from just teleporting it out of its defenses?
I am assuming that they might have something to stop someone from doing that, though.
From in terms of technology, then you don't find anything that would inherently stop them. There's no like anti-superhero specific stuff. Like there's no like some shutdown stuff like that. Again, it's a museum, not a supermax prison.
I mean, no. So I guess the thing that I'm most so, Iris, how well does your power work if you are targeting something in the vicinity of the guy that was negating our powers at the gala?
I mean, I was able to use my power just fine so long as I wasn't going near him.
Yes, but were you able to use your powers on things near him? Did you test that at all?
I generally was trying to obey the rules of our hosts then until we found something in the basement.
Also, don't mind what I'm doing on Roll20. I'm just going to throw some NPCs in.
So,
I'd say if we're going to do this, you can definitely start by trying to do that, but I doubt it's going to work because they presumably have some sort of defense against it.
probably. So
I mean, you're the one that would know the best way to counter how your power works. So,
there's a few things they could do. Honestly,
well, is it anything that you think that we can shut off?
I was just going to give a pointed look towards Serenity.
What?
And raise an eyebrow at you immediately afterward.
What did I do?
I'm fairly certain, given what you've previously done, that you could in fact shut off anything that we need to worry about in this regard.
I don't know if I could do that again.
But I would rather have a plan that has a contingency in case they do. Like, honestly, for all we know, the actual item isn't there, it's just nearby.
Here's okay. We want to probably at least have some kind of brute force backup. So how do the limitations of your object teleportation work? Like, can you teleport an entire room?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Because I mean, if we really need to brute force this, we could just take the entire room the exhibit is in, which presumably break most, if not all, the security systems.
I'd really rather not go there.
I would rather not either, but if things go really badly, we have to consider it.
It's true. No, the actual limit, I'm less worried about taking it, more worried about keeping it is a big question. Like, a very simple way for them to fix this is put it in some sort of temporal stasis or time.
Did game not have any sort of copy card that we could use to swap with this teleport? He said, making the bad idea worse.
Are you suggesting we Indiana Jones this?
Yes, with a bank vault.
I mean, if we swap the object, that's probably doable, but again, temporal stasis would definitely fuck that over.
Like, if they're trying to keep it there, my first guess would be they had someone do something like that to it. Or mark it. Hey, here's a question. Actually, Wex.
Yeah.
What do people think this item is?
Ancient Egyptian artifact.
Okay, do they think it is magical or like any information we found about like the key to different areas?
I mean, not particularly.
Okay, so we might be going overboard, but it's still probably a pretty safe guess to just.
Well, it depends on how much. It depends on how well they can predict our actions.
There are many people who have, well, not many, but a reasonable number of people who have the power to see the future.
Right, but it's how many of them and how powerful are the ones on their side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, we have Nan. I don't think she's going to sell us out.
You have who?
Nana.
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 Oh, Nana? Yeah. No. Yeah, no, Sean, you're pretty sure Nana is not going to sell you.
Yeah, I was, yes. I was not entertaining the thought at all.
Mm-hmm.
Although I guess she's probably not going to be able to give us that much help as far as really specific predictions.
I mean, she claims she can't control when she travels through time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So the other part of my role was also for sussing out like hero protection and how that rotation would go, because presumably at least the museum itself would have some kind of hero protection.
I mean, in general,
I mean, the easiest answer is they just have it itself in some sort of field that nullifies powers.
Wait, I have another dumb idea.
yeah, but I'll be honest, power nullifying fields are dumb. I do not like them.
Okay.
Oh, because I was about to say that I could ask Iris to teleport the power nullifying fields that we have in our old base
Like
into
they're
this
okay.
area.
I've never liked the whole like mass tag of I just nullify the powers. Like
Here is a zone of powers don't work.
Yeah.
okay in certain circumstances, but I don't like mortals having mass access to it.
Okay.
I mean, the good thing is that
Welcome to cyber warfare.
The better question, if that's what we're worried about, is how long will it take for us to figure out what we need to do with it to make everything else?
We didn't really get much instruction after, get it and he'll, we'll find the city.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're really good with magic. You can figure it out. I have faith in you.
I mean, we do have the backup base. Of course, we're going to have to make sure that there's no tracking devices or anything on the artifact itself before we teleport out.
Deception check. I am really good at magic, but this is a different type than my specialty.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I can try to help you out.
Because I realized a hole in your team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
I mean, that hole was blatantly obvious from day one.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Actually, the answer is any sort of magical protection is also a potential problem, but we don't know what that might be, so there's a limited amount we could try working around it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the real answer is there's a lot of things we don't know. We don't know what we don't know.
That's the thing. If we get confirmation that that team is going to be at the exhibit in some capacity, I can try to fish for a little information from Firework, but there's a good chance that she's under enough surveillance that would go badly.
Yeah, I was about to say, based on everything you told that we know about what's been going on, that seems like a bad idea.
Probably.
Yep.
I mean, we can use that though. We could throw out some false tells.
Maybe. That could actually work.
I mean, if we're caught on camera with her while it's going down, that gives us plausible deniability.
No, that just screws her over too.
Mm-hmm.
No, we need to be caught on camera with profit somewhere else.
And if the really, really like we hope I can just take it plan works, that might not be that hard to handle, but I really don't think that plan's going to work. I mean, it sounds like we also definitely need
Well, I mean, I guess my first question, Iris, is based on how you sense things. Can you sense into there?
That's a good question. Wex, can I sense into there?
Yep.
When we get back home.
Yep.
Including the artifact itself.
Yes, though something about it feels weird. It both feels like it's there and it's not at the same time, Nick.
Oh joy.
Okay, the artifact itself might be a problem with that plan because it doesn't feel like it's actually in this dimension, which makes sense.
Right. That's like that could be some form of protection. That could also just be the artifact itself. Because
I fucking hate it, Wex.
I also fucking hate it, Wex.
Good.
Wait, what
That was the idea.
TikTok is now a character in the game.
Oh yeah,
We already knew TikTok was a character in the game.
Oh, god damn, I hate this.
You didn't realize that the first time?
No,
Yeah.
I knew it. I didn't realize that was going to be the icon.
I just spent the last 5-10 minutes looking for the perfect icon for her, so that is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Perfect icon for her, and we hate it.
So rundown of the team's powers. I mean, we know how firework works. Presumably, Prophet is at least some level of.
He's blind martial artist with foresight.
Okay, but yeah, some level of precog. We don't really know how strong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What the fuck does TikTok actually do?
Stops time.
Time manipulator.
Yeah, time manipulation. Plasmoid, I don't think we know. He hasn't really done anything yet.
He falls on things and explodes.
Is that what he does?
The only idea we have so far.
That's what we've seen him do.
Which member am I forgetting?
And then Stygian.
You've got Stygian, Plasma.
The animal one, I
yeah,
forgot.
Platypus Man.
Oh, Platypus.
There's a picture of Perry the Platypus.
Not Platypus, yeah.
I imagine Platypus Man is pretty self-explanatory.
A platypus!
You know.
Platypus Man!
Yes, we know. Got the power
We
of
know-
ankles, the power of laying eggs despite being a mammal.
Yeah. I love it. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
I want this guy's autograph.
I mean, we could set off something security related elsewhere in the city as another distraction. I don't know how much response that would draw from the heroes, but
I mean, considering they're doing everything they can to be in the news as much as possible, I'm sure they'd eat it up.
Especially if there are sightings of some of us there trying to tackle it.
Yeah. Just, yeah. If it looks like there's something going wrong and we're not there, they will hop on that like hotcakes.
No, they will hop on it if we're there. They will not. They will not.
Okay.
which actually,
To be fair to them, they have also actually been taking care of a bunch of crime elsewhere.
Yes, but they will be.
They'll especially do it if it means they get to show us up.
Yeah.
And because I'm usually not there to begin with, it won't be out of the ordinary if I'm,
I'm also not there, so the
we've been
two of us.
working in small team. The thing is, we've been working with small groups of us going out. So I mean, what we do probably is send Iris and one other person just long enough to be caught on camera. Then I can cut the feeds remotely, and they can move. And they can go.
This is not the worst idea.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is, if we can even like. That's the thing. We don't know how many of them are even going to show up at the museum, or if that would draw anybody away. But if we can at least ensure that we don't have to fight an entire team at the same time, it's something.
I'm also laughing because I know we said this and we know that everything's going to go to shit.
Yeah, but in character, we have to try to plan because we have a few obsessive people.
It's true. A few, you say.
Okay, my NPCs are set.
I mean, Serenity's not obsessive in that way.
That
Neither-
is
and
actually...
neither is Grey Zone.
I'm not
Damn
obsessive.
it, I forgot I was muted for a while there.
Am I obsessive?
No, you're not obsessive. I'm mostly talking about me, Iris, and Evernicus.
Yeah.
Averonicus? Why can't you say his name correctly?
Because I'm lazy. Also, guys.
Geist is here too.
I mean,
He also has opinions.
maybe because, like, despite how much good I've been trying to do in the world, the universe has continually just, like, given me, the bad side of the stick. Maybe now it's my turn to, pay that back to the universe, and then maybe they'll start doing good things for me if I start doing bad. That way they'll want me to be good again.
No, don't go down that path. Don't go down that path.
Yeah,
That's definitely the wrong path to go down.
very much so.
We are definitely going to be teaching Serenity the wrong message with what we're about to do.
Yep.
Like we've been teaching Serenity the wrong method.
You're watching Futurama, the show that does not condone the totally cool crime of robbery.
Judge
Do you all
Thunder.
need therapy?
I love it.
I don't think we can answer no to that question. Is the problem?
Fortunately, enough of us can afford to buy everyone therapy after all of this that I think we'll be fine, assuming we, don't get squashed by some insane cosmic entity. Or
And I feel like we actually can't afford to buy everyone therapy.
I mean, we can easily afford to buy everyone therapy. Is
Yes.
the question.
All right.
Get in, losers. We're going to
We have
cognitive
at least
behavioral therapy.
Rich kids.
Anyway,
Go team rich kids.
Yep.
Okay, so do you have a functional plan?
I mean, we have a functional stakeout plan.
Yeah,
We still know what the regular security detail at the place is, as far as like people.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's one of the bigger problems is we need to figure that out before we do almost anything else.
Okay, no, it's easy enough to stake things out with your skill sets. So, in terms of like the actual museum, once again, everything for the real museum is much more like low key. Just museum stuff. Like there are just general security guards. They're armed normally. There are key cards for like most of the rooms, like when they're locked down at night. And like there's like a main security terminal office in the museum that can like monitor things. But most of it's pretty standard stuff. However, the artifact room, as we shall call it, is much more heavily armored and fortified. They actually, it looks like they have hired some sort of. It looks like Judge Thunder has lent out some of his militia to help guard the artifact room. Who basically appear to be very heavily armed men in like kind of SWAT body armor with slightly future tech looking weapons.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
Sounds about right.
we might be able to fuck up the weapons, but that is a problem.
I mean, I could just go all out and make them like dumb Metal Gear Solid 4 weapons.
Oh, Metal Gear Solid.
Not that I don't like Metal Gear Solid. I really think Kojima went too far with that one, and like every soldier has a weapon completely.
Right. That one is where he went too far.
Yep.
The fourth one.
Which is just the weapons each being programmed to biometrically monitor every single thing about a person and only work for them, like to just such a ridiculous degree that I think like each like gun must have cost like $1 million.
Look, I'm just saying, like, if that's where your suspension of disbelief broke for a Kojima game,
People went too far.
Listen, man, I will take my crazy men jumping around in trees and my guy covered in bees any day.
okay, sure.
I'll be back in 1 sec.
Nano machine
Yeah.
done.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's mostly what you get from that. If you do follow the stakeout, you do see occasionally members of the super squad stop by every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's to make a public appearance. Sometimes it's to check things. Usually they come in pairs. Rarely do they come alone.
Hmm.
Oh. This is not that surprising in all honesty, but
All right. Well,
sounds like you know what, at least in this regard, is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if I'm quiet. I'm very tired and kind of hanging in there.
It's all good.
It's legit.
Mm-hmm.
Given the amount of time we have left, do we want to do this plan tonight, or do we want to do rolls for like building tech to try and counteract anything that we expect to encounter?
I mean, it's up to you guys. We could probably get another hour of playing in, but I am going to straight out tell you big fights is coming.
Oh boy. Okay, so we should probably end before then.
Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking like prep tonight.
That sounds like a good way to, like cliffhanger us on. So like plan for maybe another half hour so we can like get everything in a row.
Yeah, I mean, like, so let me, I have a request for this. I'd like someone to start a Google Doc, share and pin it, and basically type out your plan as detailed as you want it in there, along with the things you'd like to do for it.
Can't you just,
not
make a
mean to
text
do
thing in Discord?
I was gonna say, if you wanted, we could do like a heist style thing where you tell us where we ended up and we alternate going backwards.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Ooh, that's an
That'd be really cool.
In media res, yeah.
What would be really cool?
And I don't want to do that tonight. But I
can't deny that'd be
really this is the type of bullshit I pulled near the end of my last in-person campaign.
I definitely would be down with that, and that would then turn the fight from a fight into like a really interesting descriptive thing.
Yeah, sorry if I was backseat jamming or anything.
No. Like my sibling actually told me about this. Like there's an RPG that does this.
Yeah.
Or maybe you told me, Wash. One of the two of you did.
Well, I didn't tell you, but I've heard of it. I don't know what its name is.
My sibling has some good experiences with it, and they told me about it, and I'm like, that sounds really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm going to kind of ad hoc flavor it, though, where,
we'll
have to make some rolls, and that will determine the direction the heist will go.
You're GM, man. Do whatever you want, and I'll follow. We'll follow.
Yeah. In
Discord, I'm
just excited because it sounds cool.
Yeah, no, it does. So I think then tonight I still want that pre-prep work thing. Like I need to know at least what you're going in with.
So Wex, just make a text channel in the Discord and just call it heist.
No, that makes far too much sense.
Why would we ever make sense in this game?
Clearly.
I can tell you now what Izzy and I did this time that didn't come up will be part of that flashback sequence.
So I have,
and this is where everything went horribly wrong. Flashback sequence.
And this is good too because it won't bog us down with a ton of combat rolls. Like it'll be a little more flexible.
Yep.
So here,
and we could even RP it, interrupting each other, talking about how it happened if we want.
Yeah. So I have no, and I know you're gonna love it because I know exactly where you're gonna end up.
Yeah.
I know how this will. I know where this will end.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. If we're going into an ancient Egyptian exhibit, am I going to have to duel the pharaoh?
Probably not.
Yes.
Serenity's going to get her groove back.
Izzy, it's your host.
You have to duel the pharaoh.
Oh, son of a bitch! That's how I'm connected to Stygian. He's going to drag me to the Shadow Realm.
Oh boy.
He's going to call you a friggin' idiot for referencing that. By the way.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
So I have an idea.
Oh no.
Which is predicated on a couple of things. So the first thing, how long is this exhibit going on?
That is a good question.
Yes, this is literally the first time in the campaign that we have prep time. Which means I can do some shit.
I mean, that's because I'm trying to adjust my playstyle a little. I'm trying to evolve as a DM, man.
It's the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Tip from somebody who's made the mistake too many times. Make sure the game comes before the crazy experiments if you're doing a ton of them. I have sunk myself doing that before.
Well, no, I'm taking the ideology I take with teaching. I'm actually doing what I do as a teacher. How can I structure this so I put the burden on the players/students and not on me?
Yeah, so my question is, day of, do we want Iris to try just yoinking the thing, or do we assume that will fit?
I mean, I think if we do that, like immediately before setting off the rest of the plan is probably fine.
Mm-hmm.
But here, like, we could do something crazy, like, because we know Iris's power is insane. I can do a lot of crazy shit.
Yep.
So let's say I can do something like, I don't know, build like a localized, like a small scale EMP that will self-devour once it's gone off, and just like destroy all of the security in the room along with the high-tech weapons.
That is a reasonable thing for pre-yoinking, yes.
Do we want to have backup plans in place for if Iris's yoink fails?
Iris herself is assuming her yoink is going to.
Yeah, that is plan. Are these people fucking stupid, and or is the artifact gonna play nice? Which it probably isn't.
Yeah,
And
like,
we also
that
want
is
to say, like,
plan that we get lucky.
do we want to say
And
plan B is Geist, tries grabbing it from underneath then if he's positioned in the room?
Yeah, I could probably do that.
Yeah, we can definitely set that up too. I mean, that's the thing, is how much of this artifact's time magic is going to fuck up those kinds of phasing and teleporting powers. But yeah, I think teleport 1, phase 2.
Run by grab.
All right, so it sounds like Geist is at least going to be on site. Is an important
Yeah,
part.
I'll be there one way or the other.
Yeah, guys need to be on site.
I think that's a big question. Who's on site and who's remote? I think Iris is definitely remote.
I should probably be remote with you so that if I need to get on site to the security room, you can get me there quickly.
Oh, I'm on site in a trench coat, obviously.
I mean, I'm definitely on site.
I should be on site.
All right,
too.
I think that's the first question. Who is on site and who is on team? We are pretending to be heroes and like drawing the other hero team away.
I mean, you and I have also been the team that's been seen most doing hero stuff, so that probably makes the most sense.
That's
Do I have? I'm going to go to the bathroom. Feel free to keep planning. Since this is why I want you to type it. I'll probably
all right,
digest
Izzy, are you our note taker?
What?
Yes.
I think Izzy's our note taker.
Yeah.
Depending on how much time we have, I can try to make like invisibility stuff for all of you. I don't mean it's probably not going to work. I mean, I don't know how it'll interact with Geist's power, but at least the rest of you.
Mm-hmm.
Might not do much against everything that they can throw at us, but will at least help. And can keep a fair amount of plausible deniability.
Also, the second part of this is, do we want to do this in broad daylight or do we want to wait till it's the evening? Because all the movies wait till evenings when people aren't around, unless it's, like Ocean's 12 or 13, in which case they wait till it's packed. That way people can get lost in the crowd.
And the crowd would probably be easier.
Well, is there any way we can trigger like a massive earthquake or a volcano eruption that'll get everybody to run out of the museum?
4:30 a.m. when nobody's going to sleep or waking up.
I mean, we can maybe do like a small localized earthquake or something, but I don't want to actually get people in danger. We just want to have the simulation of that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Which, actually, I guess the easiest way to do that would be have Serenity generate some kind of weird summon creature that doesn't get tied back to her at all.
Again, I could rob a different bank.
I really don't.
Kind of distinctive gray zone.
I mean, even with the trench.
Wait, you mean that's not just throwing guys named Rob at it?
Nope. All right. Good effort.
Don't like the idea of us causing a different crime to try and like cover up.
No, hence why I think faking some kind of issue would be better.
tidal wave?
No, that's the thing. Is if we fake a natural disaster, you can't really fake a natural disaster
without actually hurting people anyway.
Yeah.
This is why it's a rough idea of like we go out and like do actual heroing, and then the glory hogs show up and glory hog.
So we need to wait for some villains, or what were they fighting last time? Demons?
But that's what I'm saying. Is if we have Serenity create some kind of fake villain that we can quote unquote fight, because that's the thing is Iris and I are the two that are most easily able to split our attention between like remote locations, so we can at least keep doing heist things while we're there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the two of us doing that, then the rest of you are more free to do whatever else happens in the midst of the plan.
I mean, there is like it's not a bad idea to be doing things in daylight. Depends on how the security rotation works, but much easier to get spotted that way.
Mm-hmm. I feel
Also much more likely to hurt somebody if we do have to go to if plans A and B don't work, which there's a pretty good chance that they won't.
No. I think night is overall a better idea.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna be too sad if there's like a little static shock from the EMP knocking out all of Judge Thunder's weapons.
That would be a bonus.
Kinda, yeah.
I'm back.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
Rex.
Yeah.
A question came up. Do you have any idea what things are like there day versus night?
Daytime is actually arguably less guarded, I would say. Or
Well, that's the reason why we have to ask. Is like,
nighttime has less staff and relies more on the automatic like traps and stuff, like the laser grids and stuff go up at night when they're not really up during the day.
mm-hmm.
The lightning militia, which is what I'm going to call them now, basically have guards outside and patrol during nighttime hours, but they guard it at all times regardless.
Yep.
So the big thing is if we have to get to plan 3 of like just basically like screw up all the security systems and go in.
I mean, to screw up the security in the room, you would have to locate the independent circuit that the artifact room works under.
Right. Or I make an EMP and we teleport it into the building and detonate it.
Also a possibility. I'm just saying, if you want to go the hacking route, you gotta pull like the cyberpunk thing for this one.
Oh, no, that's the thing is I think if plan EMP fails, and like I said, I'll have it set with a self-destruct system so there's no evidence. But that's why it should be Iris and I pair it up so that if I need to get on site, I can. I'm sure we can look at blueprints and figure out where that room is. The big thing is if we do that, we have to assume that even once we just knock out the security systems, the phasing powers and teleport powers still won't work. So the people that are on site are going to need to create an exit.
Yep.
That shouldn't be too difficult.
I mean, worst comes to worst, I can grab all of you and pull you away. But
we can't take the artifact with us more than if your phasing doesn't work.
And that's the problem.
Right. So we have to have a mundane method of getting the artifact out and away.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, because there's been 2 sessions of this, and next session effectively is its own thing, PowerPoint for everyone. They'll let you carry over hero points despite it being kind of a new session, because there really has been no use for hero points the last 2 sessions.
Yay.
Yeah, it's been
But I will PowerPoint you guys regardless.
Okay, that's +1 PowerPoints. I now have a decent number saved because I have no idea what I'm gonna fucking use them on.
I mean, what about just grabbing it and running?
But run to where? That's the thing. Is the doors are still going to be shut, even if the electronics are disabled.
Green Zone is going to have to jump if it comes down to that.
Right. I mean,
easy.
Guys, that's the thing. Is like guys. Okay, guys can fly. Gray Zone can jump.
I can't fly. I can just move through stuff.
Jump
okay.
I can walk up walls, but yeah.
Serenity, you have some way to fly, right?
I mean, I can do that.
Okay, good. So the ones that we need to, so the one as far as like quick way out, the problems are well, actually, no, Geist isn't a problem if he doesn't hold the artifact because he can just phase through the floor.
Yeah, I can make my own escape route pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, in my opinion, Geist is the hardest character in the group to contain, even more so than Nick.
Yep. Geist can get out if need be.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't worry about me too much.
Like, short of me actually pulling some like power nullification bullshit or your specific counter, you're easily the hardest character to like stop from doing something.
Yeah.
So I mean, actually, here's a good question: what does the roof above that exhibit look like?
Layered, there is a skylight, but it is like iron barred.
Okay. Still, I mean, we can get like, I mean, I can get or make a plasma cutter or something. Actually, depending on how the things are set up, I could even have nanites like chew through it ahead of time and then like reseal it once everyone's left.
But will that be a fingerprint leading back to you?
Depends on how clean we make it. Like, because the other thing is if we have someone smash through a hole in the roof, I mean, yeah, I guess there are a fair number of powers that can do that.
There's a lot of powers that can do that. That's one of the more common things that you'd
It
encounter.
does have the same reinforcement capabilities as everything else, though. Like, if the right switch is thrown, it locks down just as hard.
Right. I mean, yeah, I should probably equip you guys with some kind of like plasma cutter just in case.
And plasma cutters, honestly, they're actually like a basic equipment. Believe it or not, they're literally a 1 point just weakened toughness of object.
Okay, so I can build one of those pretty easily then.
That's not even an invention. That literally, you can have them for one adventure if you like take time to stock up.
I believe the answer is we could literally just buy them, considering the amount of resources we have in this party.
Now, you want something more powerful than that on like a super science scale, then it becomes an invention.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather go something stronger because who knows how well this stuff is reinforced.
You basically want something with like a very high weakened toughness effect and maybe a damage effect with like penetrating to it.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not even sure you need that much. Also, I'm gonna pseudo mute myself while you guys talk because the debate's starting and I'm a sucker.
Mm-hmm.
We're sorry, this was a mistake, but you're doing it to yourself.
I want to see if he can be muted. I need to see if it can happen.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Shit, that's yeah.
All right, so high power plasma cutter, self-devouring EMP device. What else do we need to make for this? Right, 4 invisibility cloaks. Or do I need 4? I don't know if Geist actually needs one.
Need what?
An invisibility cloak.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it helps me to not be seen by regular people. So, yeah, that's fine by me.
All right, 4 invisibility cloaks.
I'm also going to at least watch the opener.
I'm not. It's going to be too depressing.
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
have that.
Yeah. It's literally going to be the same as the first one.
Well, no, they can mute him now.
You're only going for
That's going to stop him.
It's just for the 2 minutes, but I want to see if it has an effect.
Anyway.
All right, so I got those parts of the crafting projects.
What if we had somebody whose ability was to like lean up against a wall and then he made a doorway and people could just walk through it?
That would also be a solution for getting people out, and this is the reason why Serenity could be in.
I mean, technically, I can already do that.
You can be the door that gets everybody out.
I mean, effectively.
Nice.
Wait, how would you get other people out?
Yeah. I mean, literally all it takes is physical contact.
Right, but the thing is, though, that doesn't work with assuming you can't grab the artifact and run. That will mean that you guys have to leave the artifact behind.
Well, here's the other thought, though. If the bigger deal is getting us out, we necessarily don't need to blow a gigantic hole through the wall. We just need to make a hole in the wall that's the size of the relic. Toss that through the hole in the wall and then keep running if we can phase through walls.
I suppose, but that's a lot of because it's gonna be collateral damage.
Yeah, and we could always just go from underneath it.
Well, I'm saying if the relic can't be phased and we can't bring it through a wall, so we cut a hole in a wall about this big. Serenity's going to, hold her hands up about the size of what the relic would be. Just blow a hole in a wall that big, pass it through to the next person, phase through, continue moving. Rinse and repeat whenever you come across a locked door.
Maybe, but I feel like that's going to take a long time relative to just going through the roof.
Well, same difference then. Just make a hole in the roof that's that big.
Right, but maybe.
I think there's a reasonable argument for what Serenity is saying.
No, I mean, I get it. I guess here's the question. We should figure out how see if the flight and the phasing work together, or if the phasing means you guys start falling. Because you guys can fly and phase by touching each other at the same time, then we have an easy escape route.
So who's our flyer?
You.
They're not wrong.
Our answer to who's our ex is it can be Serenity.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's I can make a flying device, but that seems kind of redundant.
I mean, we can try it. Tell me if you actually want to try this on screen before we actually pull the heist.
No, I want you guys to test this.
Okay.
We know how your powers interact.
That means Serenity gets to go through a magical girl transformation sequence.
Excellent.
Yay. This is what we've been waiting for.
Wex, I need a new character avatar.
No, not tonight. Type what you need for later.
Well, I have the images, but okay.
Dueling pharaohs by daylight. Okay. Stealing scales by moonlight.
Actually, so here's the problem.
Never.
So yeah, Serenity is just going to transform into, I'm going to say this one because this has to be the adult form because of the power she's copying. So, boom.
What? I don't think you know what that's from, Izzy.
I don't. Nick told me to use it. These are the two things she can transform into.
Yeah, that is not a magical girl outfit.
That looks porny.
Not even close.
Wonder if that
Izzy gave me a series of requirements, and I provided a result. Appropriate requirements.
I don't think that is.
No, it's
I don't know. Whatever he asked, you did not get the right thing.
No, I gave him what he asked for. He asked for a particular thing.
He asked for a sexy bridal outfit, because that's what that is.
I asked for a blonde and a white outfit that would annoy Sean.
To be fair, Ziggy, I counted you and Sean as the same person for this.
I mean, well, I actually know what that is, so...
Yeah.
Who is that?
I presume both of you know what that is.
Who is it?
None of your damn business is who.
Pretty much. Let's go with that.
Mission accomplished.
If we were ever to do some sort of I think if I did Kingdom Hearts again, I would play just Kronk.
Squirrel Kronk?
The best Finch puffs in the world, Wex.
Oh yeah.
6 dots in.
So yeah, Serenity will go through a magical girl transformation, ending up to something that looks along those lines, and say configuration 15, Stardust. And she will try to, conjure some crystals and fly with Geist in tow. Does that? Can we get through a wall? Is the question, because I don't know how your powers work exactly, Ziggy.
Yeah, no, I'll let you grab me for as long as I'm willing to. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Do you weigh something?
Yeah. Well, I'm tangible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have mass?
Yes, while I am tangible, I have mass. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, there's going to be a crystal that. Oh right, I made it so I could lift up Gray Zone, so we're fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I can lift 12 tons in this form and fly at 4 kilometers. So, yeah, make a giant crystal under our feet. If Geist grabs a hold of me, I can just float it around.
Okay, so worst case scenario, it's what, 2 trips? Because you can take, like, if you can lift Gray Zone, that means you can lift both of the other people at the same time, and then we can always have Geist come back for Gray Zone, and then Gray Zone just jumps out with you guys phased.
I mean, my cap is 12 tons.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know how much Gray Zone weighs.
That's actually a good question.
I
Gray
actually
Zone doesn't weigh 12 tons.
power specifically for I can carry Gray Zone if needed. That is part of the reason why the mass limit is as high as it is.
Well, do you know how much Gray Zone is?
Tons.
Yeah.
Probably not 12 tons.
Is it less than 12 point or 11.9 tons?
I think so.
Okay, then yeah, we could get it in one trip.
Okay, then one. Okay, good.
Oh right, I made this a dynamic array because I'm stupid.
And actually, that means that we can have all of, like, if we can get like a little space underground for you guys to be, you can all like phase fly up through the floor. So after the EMP goes off.
Are we going to start tunneling under the museum?
We don't even need to tunnel. We can just have Iris take a chunk out of the ground below the museum.
Just remember, Dan, your invention time is finite, depending on how long you want to prep.
Right. I'm aware of that. It's just I need to determine how long things are going to take to make. Once we have the base of the plan, like
it takes almost no time for your characters, but actual putting things together is a little longer.
Right.
Fair.
I heard a bunch of nonsense coming through my speakers, and
that was debate nonsense.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's the greatest of nonsense. Yes.
I mean, no, it's pure nonsense coming through. I'm watching more to see how he reacts. He's oddly restrained so far, so I'm waiting to see when that breaks.
Can we continue on, please?
Yeah. Let's. Yeah. So. So yeah, I think once session ends, I'll figure out how much time all of this stuff's going to take to make. But can we pretty much have a plan?
Seems like it.
Yeah, like it sounds like a lot of our plan is improvise on location if we need to, but
I mean, we're gonna have to because we don't know.
Well, we can stake out a little earlier if we want to, but I mean, we already know generally what is going to be there. So
yeah,
and it sounds like you want to start with certain tools just to prep for the scenario.
Yeah, and as long as you guys are out of EMP range, once it goes off, your radios should be fine. So we can.
I mean, EMPs I think are mostly inherently dangerous to you, Dan. I don't know if anyone else here is seriously affected by them.
Well, no, I just mean from the sense of like after. I just mean like having radio contact with them while they're in.
You can have Iris teleport our comms to us after the EMP goes off.
Well, if you guys are already going to be like popping up from below, it should be fine. And it's just, actually, Iris, is your stuff precise enough where you could put 4 earpieces into people's ears from that kind of distance at the same time?
I just teleport a penny into the side of one of Nex's ears. Just nicely, simply fit it.
Yeah, no, he's designed his powers to be precise as hell.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, maybe that's the most foolproof way to do it.
Just a fair warning, I can't change configurations if things go south.
It's fine. With luck, we should be out of there regardless of what happens.
Also, what else can that configuration do other than fly?
I've made it so we mimic Stardust powers.
Well, again, the whole point of this is to make a quick escape. Whether we succeed or fail, we're getting out of there without anyone seeing us if we're able to.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, no. This version, she will show just making crystals, moving them around, and like attacking with like a needle spray kind of thing, as well as flight and lifting things up.
Okay. So the main wrinkle we're going to run into is that if we detect that not all the security stuff was killed by the EMP, that's when we're going to have to change tactics and have you guys stay below while I'm trying to disable the security on site.
Okay.
Which means we should keep at least one earpiece on you guys while we're there, while you guys are underground.
I mean, will an EMP affect Geist if he's in tandem?
No.
So he should hold on to it.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Yeah. Can't disagree there.
So it seems we have our plan then.
Yeah, I think we do.
Have a semblance of a plan.
One thing I can do if I really happen to have time at the end, I can also give you guys, like, presumably it's gonna be pretty dark in there. I can give you guys night vision goggles that we can also teleport onto you once we're in there. Hopefully, because hopefully, if the guards have night vision goggles, they get wrecked by the EMP, which means that they'll be half blind, and you guys won't be.
And you said we're doing this in the evening when the squadron or the lightning militia's around?
We should probably do this at night to minimize collateral damage and getting people hurt.
Yeah, at night you deal with more traps, but there's like no people in the way.
Yeah, no people in the way, and that way we can at least that way it's just because then we're not going to like ruin hundreds of people's phones by setting off an EMP.
Yep.
And frankly, if Jordan Clark has to pay a bunch of money to fix his museum, I'm not going to shed tears over it.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
I mean, it doesn't look like a very interesting exhibit. Now, the dinosaur exhibit right next door. That was my brother's favorite.
Very robbable.
We probably shouldn't be encouraging robbing things other than exactly what we need.
You're saying we can have a dinosaur live with us?
No. Let's just do what we came here to do and go.
Is our turtle friend not good enough for you?
I think I'd rather just get this done. We have actually important things to do that we can't waste time freaking playing Grand Theft Auto.
This isn't how you play Grand Theft Auto.
You're right. Let's keep it that way.
I mean, if you want to play Grand Theft Auto before we start the heist, we just need to steal a garbage truck.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Actually, that's a question. Can you, Serenity, can you maintain a summon while you're in that mode?
No.
Okay, that actually complicates things a bit.
No, I have to switch to my original configuration if I was going to be using summons.
So, I mean, I guess we can kind of cheat that. We can just like knock the thing into a building where it's like out of sight, and then before the heist starts, and then you guys swap in.
Well, it's going to take me a while to, change to a different avatar.
How long does it take you to switch?
Hey, Wax, how long does it take me to switch?
What, to switch between your things?
Yeah, we never actually put a time on it.
If it's not, it's an action. If we didn't put a time on it, it defaults to an action. Unless you modified it to be a move action.
I didn't modify it at all. Okay, so the magical transformation girl transformation things take 6 seconds?
It is harder to switch in combat, was I think what you and I ruled.
Yeah.
Okay, but you wouldn't be switching in combat, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that works. That works because we can just knock it into a building,
Okay.
and that starts the timer.
What do you want it to look like?
Is it the more actions you spend on the transformation, the more powerful you eventually become?
No. It's just I can't do it in combat. I can't hot swap.
I know, it's just a transformation gag joke.
Yeah.
We don't want it to be anything too distinctive. I don't know, maybe just some kind of like muscly lizard monster.
So
Iris can hit it with like a steel beam from a construction site or something.
So Rip Snorter.
Big enough that it actually doesn't die to one hit.
Yeah, make it fairly durable, but not anything super interesting.
I actually get to pull open my summons folder again. Oh.
Accidentally summons game over. Oh god.
No, that's a complication now.
Oh,
that would be a disaster.
Oh. How about Bruni?
What is Broody?
Serenity is go. Did I pick the right thing? Son of a bitch, I did. Oh. Oops, I never actually altered this one. Oh well. She's going to summon like a 2-inch big lizard. That's like red in color and hold it in her hands.
I think we need something bigger than that.
She's going to put him on the ground and he's going to slowly like enlarge. And as he does, he turns a deeper and deeper red, and then he's going to start running. And wherever he runs, fire is behind him.
Actually, that could work. How big can he get?
I mean, I don't know. If I fuse him with coal, I can make him probably about the size of a bus.
That might actually be right. I mean, you can command it to just kind of like play fight us, right? Like not actually try to hurt people.
I mean, I don't have as much direct control over them as I used to.
But you can give it base orders like run around, but don't actually hurt people too much, or don't actually like try to hurt people.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. And then because if it just like runs down the middle of the road, like lighting it on fire, like lighting shit on, or like just like lighting the road on fire, that's not really hurting anyone, but it is noticeable, which is kind of perfect.
Okay. Yeah, he could do that.
All right.
This summon is going to be more powerful than I am presently. Because fuck it, we're throwing a level 9 at this.
Oh boy.
All right.
Well, we have the beginnings of a working plan.
True.
Sorry, I'm going back and forth with the debate. So Gray Zone is trying to keep track, but loses it very quickly when anything more technical shows up, and then tries to cover it by scribbling on a piece of paper.
Well, there's a lizard that is about the size of you that is running around the inside of the zoo with us that's on fire.
Was that animal a dick?
No, it's just kind of running around.
No, I'm asking Wex. I can talk to animals. Oh, he's probably.
Okay, what's the question?
Is the animal that's on fire a dick?
Wait, which animal?
It's one of my summons.
Oh,
So probably not.
No.
I'll dump a bucket of water on it.
It's going
I don't even know if I count that as an animal. Probably.
So, Lex, do I want to hear what he's saying about my city?
Oh, he's saying that your city is an economic wreck that's a ghost town of what it was.
Please stop talking about the fucking debate, please.
Yeah, guys, this is not the time for this.
You know, this is. I'm not watching the debate for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, heist. Okay, so we have a rough outline. We have a monster figured out. We have an entry and exit plan figured out. We have contingency plan for if the EMP doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So what else do you need?
I think we're good as far as the plan. It's really just a matter of figuring out crafting time for the stuff that we want, which frankly doesn't need to be done on quote unquote on camera.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that, Dan, is going to be you kind of reading through the inventor crafting rules.
Yeah.
And it's really, as long as you don't try to invent something too ambitious, you have tech expert, right?
Yeah.
You can, as long as you let yourself make something that you can take 10s on, I don't have to check to see if it works or not.
Okay.
So, like, I think for you, your tech is high enough that you can make things with up to, I think, 19 PowerPoints without problem.
Okay.
You basically can just, because that's essentially what inventions are. They're temporary powers.
Right.
You can design them up to 19 PowerPoints with no issue. You will need to look at the build time for that. Do you have any form of quickness that allows you to assemble faster?
Not currently, although I could probably build something that helps me do that.
I can also phase into a copy of Solar.
Well, you also can have people assist you if they have enough tech know-how. And honestly, like Geist actually probably could help you with that because he does have some tech. He would be assisting you because you're still the primary, but it does cut down on the time.
Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense if Geist assists.
Heck, maybe even Izzy could, depending on how he configures himself.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
I mean,
I could give
if
myself
it's the technology skill, I could attempt to assist as well.
Like I said, Dan, I'm going to put that burden on you to just read up on because you basically can just calculate it and send me the amount of time you want to spend making this stuff.
Right.
And the way those will work is you essentially have them for one scene, i.e. the heist.
Right.
After that, they become defunct unless you actually like spend a hero point to refresh them or will, buy them.
Right. Yeah, I want to see if there's any existing kind of EMP things in one of the books, but that's something that, again, we don't really have to worry about that.
I recommend Gadget Guide or Power Profile if you want to find some like good existing templates for stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at Gadget Guide first because it's a techie thing.
Yeah. After that, Power Profile basically can replicate those as well. Those are the two easiest resources for you.
Hey, Dan, how much time do you need to construct stuff?
It depends on the thing.
I think it's like it's sizable amounts of time though. It's like 4 or 6 hours per PowerPoint, I think. Maybe more. It says it in the crafting section. I just don't have those rules memorized.
Is it 19 PowerPoints total of stuff he can have invented?
He could theoretically make things up to 29 PowerPoints, but past 19, he risks it as a roll.
But is the 19 points per item, or is it
per project that I can do easily?
Yeah. I'll let it be per project in this situation. So like if you want to make a bunch of cloaks, I'm fine with that because you're essentially only inventing it once and then just being like, especially with that, realistically, you probably could just build a bunch at the same time with the same amount of work.
Right.
Well, my question there is, does it work on, like, if he makes 4 cloaks and the EMP bomb, does that count towards the collective 19 points together, or is the EMP bomb...
No, each project is separate.
Okay.
But each project takes its own time.
Broad simultaneous weak electronics effect. Okay. Yeah, I just had to stat that out. But that is workable.
Yeah, so Dan, congrats, you get your prep time for once.
Yay.
It's finally heist time.
It's finally heist time. Maybe we'll get less injured than the other heist.
You're not going to be on site for this one.
Wex, I have a
Yes, but I mean, the we is in the group.
Wex, I have a very stupid question.
Okay,
It's going to be hard to get more injured than you got on
I
the
might have a stupid answer for you.
Well, the stupid question is, can Serenity configure into Majara's Mask Link?
I want to know where he's going at with this, because that sounds like a fun question.
Mostly,
Also-
it's can I play my ocarina so time slows down, but it stays the same for the rest of us, which means, you know...
No.
That's too much.
Absolutely no.
That sounds deeply overpowered.
You're remember, Izzy, you're in order to do what you've done, you've almost limited yourself more than you used to be able to do.
No, I'm aware. That's why I was asking, because quickness is only 1 point per rank, and making it 2 points per rank to give it to, everybody around me seems worthwhile.
It's not about the points, it's about the theming.
I know, that's why I asked Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
You
Sadly,
can't do that in Majora's Mask either.
if you still
Yeah,
have,
sadly,
sadly, the best person for this would be if you still had Justin here.
yeah, he would be far and away the best person.
Nothing beats a speedster when it comes to this.
Mm.
Unfortunate, but true. Sounds like you guys have a pretty good plan, though. Just make sure you please type it out fully so I don't forget it in the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or at least as fully as you intend to go in with it.
Let's see here.
Let's see. I mean, yeah. No, you could do that, Izzy. That's fine. It just only works for you.
I already have that statted out.
Yeah.
Okay, I can configure myself to match solar.
Or, if you were really smart, I think I know who you should copy. And it's not solar.
I know exactly who you're thinking, and I'm not going to tell Izzy.
It's either Azamand or that other speedster that showed up that one time, but I don't know them well enough.
You don't know nearly enough about Azamand to like you could copy Azamand as you think he is, but it would still be very limited.
I mean,
but that's not who I'm referring to.
I've copied half the party of what I think they do, and I know for at least 3 of them it's not what they do. But it's my guess.
That's why it's funny. Nah, I'm not telling you either, but I think Nick knows what I'm talking about. Nick, if you want to type to me, I will confirm if it's the one you're thinking of.
Also, how large is the room? That's important.
I mean, it's fairly large. Like, it's large enough that one might be able to have a fight there, for example.
Okay.
Actually, no, I was thinking of neither of them.
Huh. They were the two who immediately came to mind. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got it.
I got it.
There you go. There
Yeah,
you go.
no, it's obvious.
There you go, Chief. You got it.
I mean, I'm assuming you're actually referencing this person, but I have yet to see this person in person, so I don't know how it works.
And nor will you from observation.
Exactly. Like, also, I'm not fucking copying TikTok. I'm just not doing it.
Well, oh well. I might actually take some effort, and if I'm bored, and legitimately stat these guys up.
That sounds like a thing you would do, yes.
These are the types of characters that I like giving stats to fully.
The rival team.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So yeah, typing up all the heist
You can
plans.
see the sunlight tick tock on the clock. Do 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 do. I may have looked initially for pictures of Kesha, by the way.
Yes.
I actually feel kind of bad for her. It sounds like she got some really like raw deal stuff from like her manager initially.
It does.
Dan, did I forget anything there?
That seems correct.
You guys are very much going to enjoy where you start next game, by the way.
For finding out how our plan went terribly, terribly wrong.
Or right. You know.
Or terribly, terribly right.
Maybe both.
I'm just waiting for, and the dumb thing virus teleports the thing out actually works.
Why did we even need to be here?
And I have to figure out how I want it to work, because I need to be able to interject too, not just you guys do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I need, like, some way to interject my will within this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Just because you're going to get some places that I'm not going to say anymore. You'll see.
So how do you buy an increased area?
It is a +1 per rank increase, which will get you one of the area templates at the base value. If you wish to increase the area, each purchase of it becomes an additional 1 per rank. So, like, you're thinking, for example, I assume like kind of like a bomb blast, right?
Yeah, so it'll be a burst. I'm just trying to figure out how to make the burst.
Like a burst starts at 30.
Right.
You buy it again, it becomes 60. It basically doubles it every time.
Yeah, that's a radius. So
120.
Okay.
Which does get pretty expensive pretty quickly. Usually you got to find like some ways to like offset the cost with some flaws if you're going to go crazy like that.
I mean, you can't grab the flaw one shot, but device flaw I think is obvious.
No, I mean no. No. It is inherently a device because it is an invention. That does not apply.
Okay.
I would say though, like he could have something where it requires a technology check to use stuff like that, like, or maybe it like needs more time to arm. Like there are ways you can decrease it.
Right. Because right now I'm looking at 4 per rank for the base version of this.
Yeah, which means you can only get it up to rank 4 or 5.
Yeah. Which I think I don't know how resistance rolls work for objects.
Oh, it depends on the object. They have a rank. They have ranks themselves, and they will make a roll against your roll.
Okay.
So again, for non-shielded computers, probably not a problem. For stuff that's shielded, I'll probably assign it some sort of rank, and it'll roll against it to see if it like resists you.
Right.
It doesn't get to dodge or anything, but.
Yeah,
and sometimes a lot of that rank, by the way, keep in mind, is combat oriented. It means it may not be the most effective thing in a combat scenario, but can still be very powerful in terms of a role playing situation.
And that's the thing, is it's not meant to be a combat item. It's meant to be the opener, basically.
Yeah, and I think like again, if you could work into maybe being a little less like you can find another flaw to put on it, if you could get up to even like rank 6 or 7 or maybe even goodness 8, you could probably set up a pretty powerful item that like will do what you want it to do without any fuss or muss.
Yeah, so how does if I had to use do a technology check to arm it. So it says -1 flat per rank. So how does that work as far as
If I recall with that one,
I've used this one.
Yeah.
So it starts in a DC 10, rank 1. Every rank increases the DC of the tech check. You get ranks equal to the amount you beat the tech check. So if you make it DC 15 and it's a rank 10 ability, you get full strength at rank 25. That'd be worth -6 points.
Okay.
it's a weird flaw. It's designed to make it so like there's a level of skill to activating said power.
Okay.
Often tech characters or magic characters take it.
Okay, so here's the plan as stated. Tell me if I forgot anything. Hex is making many inventions. EMP bomb that eats itself and leaves no trace. Invisibility cloaks, which I spelled incorrectly. night vision goggles, and possibly new comms, etc. The day/night of the heist. Giant Lizard will be running around downtown away from the museum. Hex and Iris will intercept it and show up on camera. Lizard will be leaving a fire trail behind it, hopefully grabbing the squadron's attention. Avarunkus, Greyzone, Serenity, and Geist are all hiding under the museum waiting at this point. As the squadron goes to steal the spotlight, Iris teleports the EMP into the museum. It goes off to knock off all electronics, traps, cameras, etc. in the building, including hopefully the Lightning Militia's weapons. As the EMP goes off, the infiltration team phases through the floor and attempts to steal the relic with night vision goggles and visibility cloaks to go unnoticed. We grab the relic, then teleport, phase, fly, jump out of the museum without any issues. Total success.
Sounds like a good plan.
One question. What do we do to deal with Bruni in a way that won't give it away that it's one of Serenity's constructs?
That's the thing, is we can't necessarily avoid that. The main thing is that Serenity is the most unknown quantity we have.
Is there any way you can make it tougher, Serenity?
Or maybe just have it disappear in a way that's different from your usual?
Well, that's why I'm saying if we knock it into a building or something where it's invisible, where it can't be seen, and then it dismisses itself, which it's going to have to do that when she mode changes anyway.
I mean, he can go into a building and like shoot a little fireball into the air before disappearing. So it looks like he burned up.
It's not bad. That could work.
Actually, Wex, dumb question. When the squadron was fighting those demons/devils, how did those disappear?
They kind of just evaporated.
In a way similar or dissimilar to my summons?
Dissimilar. It was like kind of like a fiery, like return to hell type evaporation.
It didn't look anything like when Stygian was summoning his stuff. What happens when they dissipated?
A little similar, but not exactly the same.
Yeah, I don't like how that entire situation smells.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
I can have him do that. Alternately, I could make it look like a demon thing. I don't know why you would want me to summon something like that. They've got really creepy hollow eyes.
Just so you guys know, I am going to hard call this in 15 minutes, even if you're not done planning.
I think there's legit concern. I'm going to have to do that, so.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're mostly done at this.
Well, that's why I'm doing it specifically, Nick.
I mean, this might just be a good time to call it then, because we're mostly just planning. We're mostly just doing minutia at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, the prep for the building stuff's on you. Other than that, it sounds like you have your plan. You've got your PowerPoint. So yeah, in 2 weeks we will walk through a heist.
Cool.
Should be fun.
And
it's heist time.
How many people are helping you invent, Dan?
I'll take whoever I can get.
Yeah, I'll help out.
I will attempt.
I think you don't need more than 2, but again, read up on the rules, okay?
Yeah, I'll check on that in a second. That'll also increase how high we can get point wise without making it difficult.
Mm-hmm.
More people, I don't think is gonna double check it.
I think we get most usually +5.
Okay, that's still something.
I have teamwork as well, so yeah.
Then Izzy alone might be good enough to help you.
Yeah, I mean, I assume teamwork doesn't stack.
No, it does not. You can get the +5 and no more.
Yeah, I mean, then Izzy's fine. I mean, Izzy...
I can be whatever you need me to be, within reason.
Yeah, I think for this, I'll probably have you be the helper. Plus, that way, Geist can also be doing more casing and checking other stuff out.
I can't do tech checks, but any powers you need, I can throw at it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because if I do...
And if you're doing this, that means I can finally make a hex configuration, because that's the one person in this party I haven't made yet.
But yeah, just looking at it this way, because I can take 10s on... The way I have stuff set up, I can take 10s on tech checks in struggle situations, so I can get a pretty reasonably high tech check to take off some points for this. So that's actually pretty good. So
Alrighty. I think this might as well be a good point to stop the recording since we're mostly stopped talking at this point.
Yeah.
Alright, well, next time heist. Say goodnight to the recording, everyone.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
recording, everyone.
Bye.
Recording everyone.
I never said it was session 16. I feel bad now.
How could you, Izzy? You monster.
I'm the worst.
Yeah.
Alright. Good night, everybody.
Right.